talk about having the conversations within the business unit, right? And what I like about this panel is we have many different perspectives, both before an event happens, after an event happens. Can you guys maybe share some perspective on where to start to have that conversation within the business? All too often, we're sitting next to our customer, trying to help them facilitate the conversation, helping them understand what the risk is. But there's decision by committee now, right? There's their board of directors that have to kind of get this understanding. And I know that our clients have to go carry that message into the organization. So where do they start specifically with the C-suite and kind of carrying the dialogue and getting them interested? I think I'm pretty accurate in this assumption, but cybersecurity may be more important to you than it is your board or your CEO or CFO, right? That's kind of compelling to think about, right? It needs to be as important to them. So any insights you can share with that?
I'll go as quick as possible so I can get over to you guys. I would say you need to know your gaps. Is in all things. Remember, it's all about risk. So what I would do if I were starting out is I would do a risk assessment that's aligned to the NIST cybersecurity framework. I'm a broken record here, right? But the reason for that is so that you can understand, okay, here's our areas of maturity. We're doing a great job. Here's our gaps. And those gaps allow us to understand what we need to address. And you can't address all of it at once. Here's an example of this. Let's say I meet with a financial planner, and I've made a lot of financial mistakes in my life, and I sit with him, and he's like, look, Wes, you'll never retire. You're gonna do these 400 things to even have a chance to retire. I'm gonna be like, I'm out. Like, I give up. It's too much. Versus, what if I meet with a financial planner? It's like, yeah, man, we got some issues here, but we can fix this. Here are the top 3 things we need to address right now. And after that, there will be more, but these are the big 3 things that we want to address right now, and we can get through this. Sign me up for that, baby. Like, I can do 3 things. And so I think a gap assessment aligned to the CSF is a fantastic way to see the gaps and then begin to understand what those top things are to begin to work on.
I can speak to the insurance perspective of this. I would say there's probably 2 or 3 things that cybersecurity comes out from an insurance perspective. A lot of you folks probably have contractual requirements for some of your customers and vendors that requires basic cybersecurity in place and maybe some basic cybersecurity insurance in place. So a lot of the conversations really start at that level. The second being just headline news right now. You can't turn on the TV, you can't read the newspaper without seeing a recent breach or ransomware attack. We're having conversations with C-suites, with CISOs, what can we do to better protect ourselves? And really the conversation comes down to, again, from an insurance perspective, is how to protect the company's balance sheet. So insurance is going to be a backstop, but what Wes is talking about is going to be the frontline protection. So of those 3 things, that's how we typically see the conversation starting from a cybersecurity perspective.
I'm sitting here trying to think about my answer. Yeah, what these guys said. Some of it's great that I understand what you just said. So I'll try to talk like a law enforcement guy talks. The question would be, whose money did I just lose? Is it the company's money? So if it is, you don't care. Or did I lose your own money? I mean, that's what people think. What's in it for me, right? The whip. So if you did lose your own money, you might not care. Then you wonder, okay, if the money's lost, was it my fault that I got an operational corner, that I do something I shouldn't have done, that I communicate with a client on email when I really should have been vetting them out a little bit more? So my message is that it really starts with you. Every phone call I've ever taken throughout my 26-and-a-half-year career, it begins with somebody just like you. I don't know all your names. One of you's going to call me or somebody just like me and say, hey, Josh, oh crap, man, here's what happened. Did you tell your boss yet? No, not yet, man. Not yet. Okay. Let's start there. Call me back. Let's work through it. But it really starts with you. You really need to do your due diligence. Vet who you're communicating with. Check. I'm thinking about some situations. Your inbox, right? Check your deleted items and sent items every once in a while. This sounds crazy. It was above my head when I first did it. Maybe bad guy got in the system and created a role where they're sending emails on your behalf that gets routed right through deleted items box, and you're never going to see it. I've seen millions of dollars lost that way. It comes from a legit email. So it starts with you. That's treat it like it's your job, it's the company's money, it's your livelihood, it's your family's livelihood, it's the company's